Last week, I presented at the Orange County GATE Conference on using student choice in the 5E model, how to empower your students to take ownership of their learning. Now, that whole entire session was an hour long, but I realized that an hour-long video is way too long and teachers don't have time for that. So instead, I'm going to break it up into 5 videos, a 5-part mini-series. We're going to start with an overview of the 5E model, going over just basically what it's about and its purpose. Then we'll get into why student choice is important and how it can benefit our students. And finally, we'll go into 3 of the 5 phases and how you can infuse student choice into those 3 different phases. Hi, I'm Christy. I'm a middle school science teacher with over 25 years experience in the classroom, and I love helping teachers empower their students to take ownership of their learning. Let's go ahead and get started. In this 4th video about using student choice in the 5E model, we're going to get into infusing student choice into that 5E model with the elaborate phase. So remember, infusing student choice, we talked about this during the explore phase. First, you're going to make a list of all the activities and lessons you already have or would like to use. Then you're going to identify again the type of thinking. Now remember, this was for the Orange County GATE Conference where we have gifted learners and we use things like depth and complexity icons, content imperatives, and learning keys. But I do offer student choice to my core students as well because they also need to learn those important skills of self-management, self-awareness, decision-making. So with them, I'm thinking again of the Bloom's levels. Now in the elaborate phase, I'm going higher up on Bloom's. I'm staying in the top realm of that pyramid to figure out which activities would hit those top levels. The middle to top is where I want to be working with. Then again, decide if you can modify any lesson to make it more inquiry-based. You can still do inquiry-based in the elaborate phase because remember, they're taking that information and doing something on a similar topic, but new. Infusing student choice in the 5E model, there really are 3 phases that work really well for this. Last time we talked about the explore phase, and this time we're getting into the elaborate phase. So for the elaborate phase, I like to use menu choices. Now, there are many types of menu choices. I'm just going to talk about 3 of them. One is the tic-tac-toe, and that's where students can choose any 3 of the choices as they create a 3 in the row. Now, you could leave the center one open for their own student ideas, which I love to do because let me tell you, I am always blown away by what my students create when they are given the ultimate freedom. Now, they do have to run it by me first. I have to approve it, but my goodness, they are amazing what they can come up with. You could also use tic-tac-toe as individual choice and just have them choose like one idea if you run out of time, or you can make it a group choice where the students work in groups of 3s and each student in the group chooses one area. So as a group, it makes a tic-tac-toe. Another one is the list. Now, this menu offers a list of choices, and each one has a different point scale based on Bloom's taxonomy. And usually there's a total point criterion that the students need to meet. So they might have to make 10 points, and they can choose from a whole bunch of 2-point ones, a couple 3 points, maybe some 4 points or 5 points. Maybe you have one that's going to do 10 points. Here's the thing. It's not based on the amount of time it's going to take the student. It's based on Bloom's. So you could have a word wall be at the lower level points. Word walls, Bloom's wise, is very low. It's a low level thinking. Time wise, if it's done correctly and they want the full credit, they're going to have to take time to make really nice drawings, color them in, write neatly for the definitions. So time consuming, yes, it's going to be time consuming. So we want to make our list and our point scale not based on how much time it takes, but based on the Bloom's level of taxonomy. Last one is the restaurant menu. Now, this is similar to an actual restaurant menu. You'll have your appetizers, your main course, and your desserts. And you have different options in the appetizers, different options in the main course, and different options in the dessert. And as you go from appetizer to main course to dessert, you are increasing the level of Bloom's taxonomy. So they need to choose one appetizer, one main course, and one dessert to make a 3-course meal. So they can decide which low-level Blooms are they going to work with, which middle-level Blooms, and which high-level Bloom activity are they going to do. Product options for these menu choices. You'll want to mix it up for the different modalities. So for visual learners, you could do trading cards, a newspaper article, a brochure, a comic strip, an infographic. For your kinesthetic learners, you could have them create a play, do a science experiment, a movie trailer, a commercial, build a model, or make a game. And for your auditory, they could do a news report, a song, they could interview someone. They could also do a movie trailer, a commercial, or even a podcast. Things to remember when doing the elaborate phrase student choice. And this one is super important, so listen up. Have you gone away? You back? Good, this one's important. You do not need to be an expert on these product choices. Let me repeat that again. You do not need to be an expert on these product choices. In fact, if you've never created an iMovie trailer, if you've never done a podcast, if you've never done an infographic, that's okay. Because you're going to have the students research how to do these. There is so many resources out there. YouTube, Google. If they go onto Canva, Canva has tutorials for how to make the infographics. They will take the students how to use Canva themselves so that students can learn this information. So again, you don't have to be an expert. Let the students do the heavy lifting. Let them discover it. I think sometimes we give the students all this information and we show them which YouTube videos. But by doing that, we actually do them a disservice because we're taking that learning opportunity away from them. Because when they get out of high school, they're going to have to research things on their own. When that leak happens in the bathroom, right? They're not going to have someone who says, oh, here's our YouTube video for that. Watch it. No, they're going to have to learn how to search YouTube to find out how to fix that leak, right? So let's have them practice doing that. Also, please create one grading rubric for use for all those different ones. You don't need to have a separate grading rubric for every single choice. Have one that is generic that can encompass all the different choices. It'll save you so much time. Here is an example of the menu choice I did with, again, my gifted learners. We took 3 days. I did a restaurant menu style choice, and it was slightly different because what I did was kind of a list restaurant style. They did have to choose an appetizer, but their appetizer was their guiding question. So I let them choose a very high level guiding question that they wanted to answer. Then in the main course, they had to choose between 3 different icons that they would use to help them answer that question, to guide their research, in other words. And then finally, I let them choose the product that they were going to show me what they learned and showed me their answer to the question. So it's your action step time now. I want you to go through, again, look at all your lessons, look at all your activities. Which ones could you do a menu choice for? Do you have some all ready to go? Maybe you have different science labs that Some of them are more basic, some of them are higher level. Maybe you have some quiz games ready to go. Have them maybe do one of those for a choice. Perhaps you need word walls done. Have that be a choice. What are some things that you can do, some lessons, some ideas that you could then turn into a menu choice? Now, if you would like more help on using the 5E model, I have a great resources ready to go for you at adventuresinistem.com/5E_resources. A whole bunch of free help guides, videos to help you implement the 5E model. Thank you for watching another Adventures in iSTEM and Beyond video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more Adventures in iSTEM and Beyond videos. For more ideas on how to incorporate science, technology, and skills for life into your classroom, go to adventuresinistem.com.